Some people become famous because the world loves them, and some people become famous because the world absolutely cannot stand them. Whether it's criminal convictions, toxic behavior, public meltdowns, or just being relentlessly annoying, the celebrities on this list have earned something that no amount of PR can fix: genuine, widespread hatred from the public. These aren't just people who had a bad year. These are people who have consistently made choices so terrible, so tone-deaf, and in some cases so criminal, that millions of people have collectively decided they've had enough. So let's count them down. These are the 15 most hated celebrities right now. Starting at number 15, we have Justin Bieber. Now, Bieber has genuinely grown up a lot since his early days of egging houses, spitting on fans, and getting arrested for drag racing in Miami. He's married, he's focused on his health, and by most accounts, he's a different person today than the kid who made headlines for all the wrong reasons. But the internet has a long memory. The damage from those early years still follows him around, and every time he goes quiet or pulls away from the spotlight, people assume the worst. At number 14, Tom Cruise. On the surface, Tom Cruise is one of the most successful movie stars who has ever lived. But beneath the action sequences and the billion-dollar franchises, there's the Scientology of it all. His decades-long involvement with the Church of Scientology, his infamous couch-jumping incident on Oprah, the way his public image feels tightly controlled to the point of being robotic, it all adds up to a celebrity that people respect professionally but deeply distrust personally. Number 13 is Mark Zuckerberg. It's hard to be liked when your entire career is built on collecting people's personal data and selling it to advertisers. From the Cambridge Analytica scandal to the constant accusations of enabling misinformation, Zuckerberg has become the face of everything people hate about big tech. He's tried to rebrand himself, the whole meta pivot, the UFs obsession, the attempts to seem relatable, but none of it has worked. At number 12, James Corden. For years, James Corden was the lovable host of The Late Late Show, famous for carpool karaoke and being everyone's fun British friend. Then, the restaurant incident happened. In 2022, Keith McNally, the owner of the famous New York restaurant Balthazar, publicly banned Corden, calling him the most abusive customer in the restaurant's history. Stories piled up from waitstaff and industry workers who described Corden as rude, dismissive, and cruel to people he considered beneath him. Number 11. Jada Pinkett Smith. The Red Table Talk era turned Jada into one of the most polarizing women in entertainment. Her revelation about her entanglement with August Alsina while still married to Will Smith left people stunned. Then came the memoir, where she revealed she and Will had been secretly separated for years, blindsiding even people close to the family. The public feels like Jada has turned her marriage into content, airing private family matters for attention, while simultaneously claiming she values privacy. At number 10, Ellen DeGeneres. She built an empire on the phrase "be kind." Then dozens of former employees came forward describing a workplace culture that was anything but. Allegations of bullying, intimidation, racism, and sexual misconduct from senior producers rocked the show in 2020. Ellen addressed it on air, but the apology felt hollow to most viewers. Ratings cratered, the show ended, and Ellen retreated from public life, reportedly moving to the UK. Number 9. Logan Paul. The Japan Suicide Forest video in 2018 should have ended his career. He filmed a deceased person's body, laughed about it, uploaded it to YouTube, and only apologized after the backlash became unmanageable. Since then, he's pivoted to boxing, launched Prime Hydration, and tried to rebuild his image. But the internet hasn't forgotten. And his involvement in various crypto and NEFT projects that critics have called scams hasn't helped. At number 8, Jake Paul. Everything Logan does, Jake does louder, more obnoxiously, and with even less self-awareness. From the phase rug controversy to the constant boxing spectacles against opponents who have no business being in a ring, Jake Paul has built his entire brand on being the guy everyone loves to hate. He knows it, he leans into it, and it works financially. But make no mistake, the public genuinely does not like this man. Number 7. Kim Kardashian. Kim has been a lightning rod for criticism since the sex tape that launched her career. But in recent years, the backlash has shifted from her personal life to her business practices and her perceived detachment from reality. The "nobody wants to work anymore" comment during a Variety interview landed like a bomb. Her attempt at serious acting in the Ryan Murphy series All's Fair was demolished by critics. At number 6. Chris Brown. It has been over 15 years since Chris Brown brutally assaulted Rihanna, and the public has never forgiven him, nor should they. Since that night in 2009, Brown has racked up additional assault allegations, restraining orders, and violent incidents that paint a consistent picture of a man who has never truly changed. Number 5. Prince Harry. Once the beloved rebel prince, Harry's public image has taken a devastating hit since he and Meghan stepped back from royal duties and moved to California. The Oprah interview, the Netflix docuseries, the memoir Spare, each revelation alienated more of the public. People feel like Harry is simultaneously asking for privacy while selling every private moment to the highest bidder. The contradiction has made him one of the most polarizing royals in modern history. At number 4. Meghan Markle. Whether the hatred directed at Meghan is fair or not is one of the most debated topics on the internet. Her critics accuse her of being calculated, performative, and manipulative. Her supporters argue that the backlash is rooted in racism and misogyny. What's undeniable is the data. Meghan has topped or nearly topped multiple most disliked celebrity lists for 3 consecutive years now. On Ranker's live voting platform, she held the number 1 spot for much of 2025, sometimes trading places with Diddy. Number 3. Elon Musk. The richest man in the world is also one of the most despised. His acquisition of Twitter, which he rebranded to X, alienated millions of users. His increasingly vocal political opinions, his erratic posting behavior, his involvement in government affairs, and his tendency to personally attack anyone who disagrees with him have turned him from a visionary tech CEO into a polarizing political figure. People who once admired him for Tesla and SpaceX now see him as someone who uses his wealth and platform to bully, troll, and destabilize. At number 2, Kanye West. Once considered a musical genius beyond reproach, Kanye's descent into public hatred has been steep, ugly, and largely self-inflicted. The anti-Semitic remarks, the White Lives Matter shirt, the bizarre alliance with far-right figures, the sale of merchandise featuring hate symbols, the erratic social media behavior, the treatment of his ex-wife Bianca Censori, who has been photographed in increasingly provocative and uncomfortable outfits, reportedly at his direction. At number 1, the most hated celebrity in the world right now, Sean Diddy Combs. In 2025, Diddy was found guilty of transporting individuals across state lines for the purpose of prostitution, capping off a year of horrifying allegations that included sex trafficking, racketeering, forced labor, kidnapping, and bribery. Dozens of civil lawsuits have been filed against him, with accusers including men, women, and even minors. The details that emerged during his trial, the so-called freak-offs, the surveillance footage, the witness testimonies, painted a picture of a man who used his power, wealth, and influence to systematically abuse people for decades. His empire has collapsed. That's the list. 15 people who had every advantage in the world, money, fame, power, platform, and still managed to make the public genuinely hate them. Some of them earned it through criminal behavior, some earned it through arrogance, some earned it through hypocrisy, and some earned it simply by refusing to read the room. Drop a comment and let us know who you think deserves to be higher or lower on this list. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.